Hello there. I'm a little nervous today, but I'm relieved that the move's finally done. I'm really looking forward to living with you here from this moment on.
Hey, I get being nervous, but don't lean on people too much right off the bat. Getting used to a new place is tough, but it'll become your new normal, so the sooner you settle in, the better.
Got it. I'll do my best to adjust as quickly as I can. I know I'll probably feel lost at first, but I'll stay on top of things.
There's a lot to learn, so don't slack off or it'll come back to bite you later.
Sure, I'll be careful. If anything's giving you trouble, just let us know right away.
You brought a ton of stuff with you, huh? What's with all the boxes?
Oh, these are things I bought with me when I moved. They're all things I really need, though. I've been working on organizing, but it might take me a little while.
This house doesn't have a lot of storage, so if you just keep piling things in, it's going to be a mess. You need to sort it all out now before it gets out of hand.
Got it. I'll start organizing right away. I'll try to make sure I use the space as efficiently as possible.
We've all got to share the space, so if you don't think it through, it'll turn into chaos real fast. Keep that in mind.
Sure thing. I'll be mindful of how I store my things. I'll do my best to simplify things for everyone, so I appreciate your understanding ahead of time.
I know I might sound a little pushy, but when there's too much stuff, the place just won't stay tidy, right? It's the little things like that that make day-to-day life harder later on, so just be mindful. It's important to live at your own pace, but you also have to think about the rest of the family.
Got it. So it's all part of the house rules. Could you give me some specific examples of what I should watch out for?
First off, bathroom and shower schedules are a big one. In this house, if we don't decide who uses them, just having overlapping times builds tension real fast. It ends up wasting time for everyone. And it's way smoother if we just set clear rules from the start so everyone's comfortable.
Makes sense. So sticking to the schedule is key. If people ignore that, it'll definitely cause problems later. So it's better for everyone to sit down and figure it out together.
Exactly. And another big thing is, don't do everything on your own schedule. When you live with others, you've got to think about them too. If you try to make everything fit around your timing, someone's going to end up annoyed. That's the kind of thing I really want you to pay attention to.
Totally. Being considerate of everyone else is important. I'll make sure to be mindful and work together with everyone the best I can.
It's important for everyone to collaborate, but if you can't manage that, you'll be the ones facing challenges down the line. If I go easy on you now, it'll only make things harder down the road, so you've got to be firm from the start. I'm being a little strict for everyone's sake, but this way you'll be able to settle in comfortably.
Absolutely. I'll keep everything organized from the start. I don't intend to rely on anyone else. Thanks to you, I've snapped into gear. Really appreciate it.
Oh, good. That puts my mind at ease. If we set clear rules from the beginning, it'll save us a ton of trouble later. Let's keep things running smoothly from here on out.
Yes, I'll stay focused. I'll gradually get used to everything, so thanks for your support.
You really planning to keep wearing that?
Are you talking about this black dress for the funeral? Hold on, is something wrong?
You don't need it anymore, do you?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
What exactly are you planning to do now? You're not part of the family anymore. So, what are you planning to do from here? You better do the right thing. We don't need you anymore. When are you thinking about moving out? Don't tell me you're planning to just hang around here like nothing happened. If you think you can keep living here, that's beyond bold. I'm actually speechless.
Oh, what? Hold on a second, please. I mean, you can't just throw something like that at me out of nowhere. Isn't it way too soon to be having this kind of talk right now? Can you maybe read the room a little?
Lucas' funeral went off without a hitch, so there's really no reason for you to still be here, right? So why are you still hanging around? Now that he's gone, there's literally no reason left for you to be in this house. You get that, don't you? Your role as a wife ended when my son passed. Clinging to it like this is just plain pathetic. Pack your stuff and go. Let me be blunt. If you keep staying here, you're just a burden. Just having you in the house wears on my nerves. I seriously can't take it.
I don't have a problem with the idea of leaving the house itself, but I just want you to think about something for a second. Bringing up this whole get out conversation on the very same day as the funeral? That's just unbelievably heartless. It's true, I never had kids, but I spent 24 years in this marriage, giving it everything I had. For me, today wasn't just some ceremony. It was the day I said goodbye to someone who mattered. It's a day I'll never forget.
Even if we were living together, we were basically strangers. I've been holding back this whole time. I'm at my limit. Every single day was stressful. Just seeing your face made it impossible for me to feel at peace. Please, I'm begging you, don't stay here any longer. For the sake of my peace in retirement, I need you to leave.
I see. If that's how you truly feel, then I'll respect that. But please give me just a little more time. Actually, your husband asked me personally to help out with some of the arrangements moving forward.
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean? Is there something going on that I haven't been told?
Being the one listed as the person in charge isn't just for show. From organizing everything to greeting guests, talking to neighbors and family, there's a mountain of tasks, and it's honestly overwhelming. That's why I naturally ended up supporting him with all of it. To be frank, I haven't really seen you step up or take the lead on anything.
So what? Are you saying I've done nothing? Are you trying to blame me without actually saying it?
That's not my intention at all. You just lost someone you loved, and I truly think it's best for you to focus on healing and taking care of yourself right now. If you could avoid any emotional outbursts or confrontations, it might help keep things calm for the rest of the family too.
Yeah, well, hearing that from you doesn't really help. Honestly, there's nothing I can do about it. And for the record, Luca might have been my son, but we weren't actually related by blood. Don't get that twisted.
Yes, Luca told me that himself a while back, and I'm fully aware of it.
When I married my husband, Luca was already an adult, living on his own. Even after that, we only saw each other a few times a year. There was nothing you'd call a real parent-child bond. It wasn't until we moved into this two-family house that we even started seeing each other more. And that's really only been in the last few years. So yeah, it's not surprising if I felt like we were strangers.
I understand that's how you feel. But that's a very personal matter, and especially today, I'd ask you to be mindful about not bringing that up in front of his father or the rest of the family. I also feel it's my responsibility to make sure today ends without any problems, so at the very least, I can't leave the house until that's done.
Fine, whatever. But once that so-called responsibility of yours is done, pack your things and get out. I'm honestly so sick and tired of you. You went ahead and made breakfast, huh? Can't tell if that's thoughtful or just plain pushy.
I figured being called pushy is better than being called useless.
Oh, look at you. You've gotten pretty bold, haven't you?
Still nowhere near as bold as you, though.
Excuse me? That's rude. Anyway, let me ask you one more time. When exactly are you planning to leave? The funeral was yesterday. Everything's wrapped up, and it's already nighttime today. Don't tell me you're dragging this out just to stall and buy yourself more time here. This house is under my husband's name, your father-in-law, and I'm his wife. So don't forget I have every right to ask you to leave.
Oh, wait a minute, Grace.
There's no way I'm letting you stay here.
Wait, you really didn't notice? I already moved out.
What? I didn't see any moving truck. What are you talking about?
I didn't have enough stuff to need movers, so it wasn't a big deal. I just made a few trips with my own car and took what I needed. And since this is my hometown, I had no reason to move far away.
Wait, where exactly did you move to? Where did you go?
You should be able to see it from your house, actually. That tall building near the station, the high-rise.
What? That huge place? You mean that tower right by the park? It's the one that was in the news recently. No way, you're seriously living there?
Yeah, that's the one. It's big, super convenient, and honestly really comfortable.
You've got to be kidding me. You're not some millionaire, are you? How on earth could you afford a place like that?
Oh, you didn't know, did you? I actually worked as a corporate employee until 16 years ago. But now I'm self-employed. I do art and work in the creative field. Not to brag, but I've made a bit of a name for myself in the industry. And I make a decent living. Enough to afford that tower condo without a problem.
I see. Well, that's a surprise, but I guess that explains it.
Anyway, Grace, about your husband. I have a favor to ask.
Huh?
I'm sure you understand my situation. Even though I left the house the day after the funeral, there's still a lot left to do. There's still a lot to handle over the next few weeks, and I'm sure there'll be even more paperwork and preparations coming up.
No, you don't have to tell me. I know everything.
I see. In that case, I have to go now. Please take good care of your husband.
Catherine, why aren't you picking up? Answer me already. There's something I need to talk to you about right now. Can you spare a few minutes? Catherine.
Oh, wow. Look who it is. It's been a while, Grace. What brings you here texting me at this hour?
Oh, skip the greetings. I need you to file the paperwork to waive the inheritance right now. We're out of time.
Waive the inheritance? That's kind of out of nowhere. What are you even talking about? What happened?
It's my daughter. I just found out she's drowning in debt. And it's not just a little. It's serious.
Wait, your daughter? I think you mentioned her once before, just briefly. You mean the one from your previous marriage?
Oh, that's right. So you do remember. She's working out of town now. And it looks like she got caught up with some guy she met at work.
I see. I remember hearing she moved for her job.
The guy she was dating from work? He's married. She got herself into an affair, of all things, and of course, it got exposed. Now the wife's coming after her for damages.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Are you saying that's why your daughter's in debt?
Luca had a good job and a solid income. Plus, he definitely left behind at least some inheritance, right? So if you, as his wife, don't take your share, the next legal heir is obviously my husband, his father. And if my husband inherits that money, I, as his wife, will manage it. And use it to take care of my daughter's situation. That's all this is. You've got no reason to complain.
Are you seriously listening to yourself right now? That logic is so messed up. It doesn't even make sense. I've got my own life to take care of too, you know.
Oh, come on, and you're making money. So it's not like you need the inheritance, right?
Oh, so now because I work, I don't deserve an inheritance? What kind of reasoning is that?
Oh, there's no time for excuses. You do know there's a deadline for waiving an inheritance, right? If you don't act now, it's going to be too late.
So you really didn't know, huh? I actually finalized my divorce from Luca exactly 1 week before he passed away.
What? You're telling me you were divorced?
As for why I didn't move out right away after that, my new place wasn't available yet because of the lease timing. I honestly wanted to leave sooner, but it just didn't work out that way. And then, the unexpected happened. I never imagined he'd pass away, but your husband asked me to come say goodbye, so I attended the funeral for that reason only. By that time, our marriage was already legally over, so I'm not an heir under the law anymore.
Oh, well then, I see. That makes things simple. So all of Luca's inheritance goes to my husband, just like it should. I won't ask why you got divorced, but honestly, this works out great for us. Now we can finally take care of my daughter's debt. Well, guess things have a way of falling into place after all. Anyway, I've got nothing else to say to you. Thanks for your time.
Hey, I'm sorry, but can I say just one thing?
Ah, thank goodness. I've been dreading this whole thing, but now it feels like a huge weight has been lifted.
Sorry to say, but your husband probably won't be receiving any inheritance. You might want to look into that. Wait, why hasn't she even read the most important part? Or don't tell me. Did she already block me?
Catherine, what the hell is going on? Answer me. None of this makes any sense. You know something, don't you? Why doesn't my husband have any right to the inheritance?
Well, it's been a while, Grace. What's wrong?
I've told you already. I just discovered that my husband isn't eligible to inherit Luca's estate.
Of course. I actually explained all that in detail over WhatsApp a while back. I'm pretty sure I even sent some attachments.
What? I never saw anything like that.
Oh, wow. So that message stayed unread this whole time? I assumed you'd already gone through it.
Then explain it now. I want to know how this even works. Luca didn't have any kids, right? So how is it possible someone else is inheriting everything?
That's true. He and I didn't have children. We were both really focused on our careers. And we agreed when we got married that we wouldn't have any. But behind what I thought was a peaceful marriage, something insane was going on. Turns out, he had a 6-month-old baby. I found out completely out of the blue. And I only discovered it because I happened to see some messages by accident.
Wait, he had a kid and didn't mention it to you? Are you for real?
Yes, of course. I couldn't believe it at first, but I went through all the necessary steps, including a DNA test. It was painful, but the results were clear. In other words, it was undeniable. He cheated. That betrayal was the biggest reason our marriage ended in divorce.
I've never heard anything about this.
That makes sense, actually. He told me he'd explain it to his parents himself, so I stayed out of it. But your husband seemed to already know, so I assumed you just weren't told. You weren't his biological mother, and you two were never that close.
Catherine, how can you be so calm about all this? Aren't you angry? Your husband's whole estate is going to the baby of the woman he cheated with. If it were me, I'd be losing my mind.
Well, to be honest, at first, I was just so stunned I couldn't even feel angry. That woman he cheated with, she's more than 15 years younger than me, barely turned 30. Apparently, Luca told her he was a divorced single guy. She had no idea he was married. Eventually, even Luca had no choice but to admit the truth. When I found out everything, his face went pale, and he started stammering like a little kid, scrambling to explain himself. As for her, she was in tears, kept apologizing, saying she had no idea he had a wife. She told me she decided to raise the baby on her own, and that she couldn't trust him anymore, so she was ending things with Luca. She was honest and straightforward, so I just couldn't bring myself to be angry with her. If anything, I felt sorry for her, getting caught up with a liar like that.
But still, are you really okay with all of this? Letting it all end like this? Do you really not have any regrets?
At the very least, the baby had absolutely nothing to do with any of this. I felt that was something I needed to separate clearly in my mind. So in the end, I chose a quiet divorce. Of course, I did make Luca pay for what he did. He was held accountable for the years we were married. But not long after the settlement was finalized, I never imagined he'd be gone so soon. It was all just way too sudden. And that's why, ironically, I truly believe it's only right that his estate goes to the child who carries his blood. Just so you know, the one inheriting is only 6 months old. That means someone has to protect the assets until the child grows up. But don't worry about that. I've been told your husband plans to appoint a reliable guardian to handle everything.
Hold on. What about my daughter's debt? I've already let her know that the money is on its way. She's relying on it. I can't just go back now and say it's not happening. If I do that, it'll totally ruin her reputation.
I think it's probably a good idea to go back and clear up the basics. Let's say, just hypothetically, there wasn't a child involved. So if Luca had no biological heirs and your husband became the inheritor, even then, you'd only be able to use that money if your husband agreed to it. You definitely wouldn't be able to just spend it freely.
But he'd say yes if I asked. He never says no when I ask for something.
That really depends on what you're asking for. If the reason behind the debt is shady or unclear, that changes everything. And honestly, using money left by his own son to pay off debt tied to some affair-related mess? I don't think any parent would be okay with that.
Wait, what did you just say?
Regardless, none of that matters now. Your husband's not the heir, period. You can stack all the what-ifs you want, but it won't magically create money. At this point, wishful thinking and daydreams aren't going to solve anything. It's time to face reality.
No, this can't be happening. You're telling me this now? What am I even supposed to do?
I don't think there's anything more I need to say at this point. I believe this conversation is over.
Yeah, I guess we've covered everything. But wait a second. Catherine, listen. You should pay the money. You're working and you've got financial stability, right? You said you got a proper settlement from the divorce, didn't you? Then coughing up what, $5,000? That should be nothing for you. Do it for my daughter.
Please, don't let your emotions drive your decisions. Letting anger or desperation take over won't help anyone. Before you leave your house, I suggest you really think about your position here.
Hey, this conversation isn't over yet.
From now on, please direct any further communication to my lawyer. Goodbye.
How dare you speak to your elder like that? Answer me, Catherine!
It's been a year since everything happened. Every now and then, I pass by the house where we used to live. The grand gate and perfectly manicured yard that once stood out are now completely gone. The lot is so neatly cleared, there's not even room for weeds, like nothing was ever there. But I'll never forget something. I'll never forget the days I spent in that house. Every bit of the pain, the anger, the tears, and my quiet resolve. All of it pushed me forward and still holds me up today. My former in-laws ended up getting divorced not long after I left. The reason? Turns out Grace withdrew $50,000 from their retirement account to cover the huge debt her daughter had racked up without telling him. Her husband was furious. From what I knew, he was always calm and rational. But that time, neighbors said they heard him yelling and even dishes breaking. He felt completely betrayed. Said he'd never imagined she'd go that far. In the end, he didn't even ask for a split of their assets, didn't demand any compensation, just sold the house quietly and moved into a retirement home. I only ever got one phone call from him. Everything you said was right. Just those words meant more than I can say. Back when I lived in that house, no one ever really listened to me. As for Grace, well, she lost both her home and any assets she had. She tried crashing at her daughter's apartment, thinking she could count on her. But her daughter had lost her job over the affair scandal and was drowning in debt too. With debt collectors calling nonstop and barely enough for groceries, she clearly couldn't afford to take care of anyone else. Eventually, she disappeared without a word. She'd fallen behind on rent, so the apartment was vacated. Left behind, Grace started bouncing between internet cafes, then applied for welfare. But it got denied due to suspicious bank activity, flagged as possible asset hiding. After that, she was turned away by acquaintances and ended up with some shady religious group, where she was made to clean and run errands all day with no pay. The same woman who once looked down on everyone now picks through public trash cans for scraps like pride never existed. Just the other day, on my way back from volunteering, I saw her talking to a cat in a corner of a park. Her clothes were grimy, her shoes worn thin, her eyes empty. I think she noticed me, but I didn't say a word. I just kept walking. Her presence, her words, they hold no power over my life anymore. The woman who belittled me, insulted me, drove me to the edge, now lives a forgotten life, drifting through time, needed by no one. Funny how life works. But maybe this is justice. There's no need for lightning bolts or divine punishment. People slowly fall apart, all on their own, under the weight of their own choices. As for me, I'm living a quiet, peaceful life now. A warm bed, a good meal, a space where no one shuts me down. That's more than enough to make me happy. And that is the true ending of me and Grace's story.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.